Yes, in the last class, in the last session, we only discussed about the negatives of communication, like in what ways we have hampered ourselves in the communication at work. So, lot of barriers we would see, like language, technological problems, the barriers we have in your mind, the personality related, the attitudinal related problems that are hampered our communication at workplace. So, in this session, we can have some solutions, or we can have some strategies to have better communication at workplace. So, five important things we have to deal while we are focusing on your communication skill. First thing is your message, and second thing is your audience. Third is your personality, and fourth is the medium of communication, and fifth is your style. Yes. So we can start with sir, can you see my screen? Can you see my screen?
No, ma'am, it's not visible.
No, okay, sir. Still
And I'll
it's
do one
loading.
thing.
So
Isn't that another name in Anthony, ma'am? Am I right?
yes, sir.
Okay, I'll
Yes,
do
sir.
one thing. I will just a minute now. I'll make us a
Yes.
focus. Then only you can able to present. Just a minute.
I think now you can able to see my screen, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
It's loading. Yes. Because it will be so much helpful for us to understand the concepts and understand the strategies while we are seeing the pictures. Yes, okay. So meantime, we can discuss about the points. So first I told you about the message. Yes. So while we are communicating with your colleagues or with your peers or with your boss, you have to focus on the message. So what message we are going to say, or what message we are going to communicate with others, and so screen without any problem.
Ma'am,
No.
I think it's not visible, ma'am. You can continue, ma'am. We will share the presentation later.
Okay, sir. Okay. Without having any power, we can continue the session. So the first thing is a message. So we can be so precise when you're talking with your boss, or when you're asking any
Ma'am, it is
permission.
now.
Hello.
Yes, now, just now that it was loaded, but now it is closed, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, now it is visible. Now it is visible,
Yes.
ma'am. You can continue.
Yes. Okay, sir. Really sorry for the technical issues, because I have a lot of classes today, and I have utilized all my internet today. So after 5:30, I couldn't find my Wi-Fi or some other net here. Yes, sir. Yes, so the message, come to the message. So it should be so precise. If you really want to ask anything from your boss, or if you really want to get any work from your subordinates, so the message can be so precise. So instead of giving them a lot of explanations and make them so boring, so we can ask them with a very precise message. And second thing is, so what language so you are going to use? Even though you have a very good friendship with the colleagues or your peers in your workplace, so try to avoid uncouth language. Some informal language, so some informal wordings may hurt some people. So instead of that, you can use some formal language that can help you to have very good relationship with all the persons. And so next point regarding the communication is, so we can have a trial before we talk with your boss. So if you're going to ask some, if you need 2 or 3 days leave, or you didn't complete any work and you're going to give them some excuses, before that you can have a valid reason. You can frame out a very good statement what you are going to talk with your boss. Yes, so I think you all can see my PowerPoint without any issues. So really sorry for the trouble. So these are the areas we can cover while you're seeing your communication skills. So first thing is your personality. So the message, the attitude. So attitude of both yourself and your audience, and the words or message you are going to communicate. The medium you are going to use for your communication, and the style while you are communicating with other persons. And the last thing is about your audience. Yes. So the message, based on the message we have seen, the first thing is, so please be precise. So be short. So don't be too elaborative. It will make your audience too tired. And second thing is, be prepared your contents and based on the audience. So to with whom you are going to talk, to whom you are going to convey something. If you are a teacher, so your communication should be apt to your students, and what kind of students you have in your class. It may be a high class students, or maybe a very average, or students from low background, or without having any knowledge about the language. So you have to be so flexible regarding your message, and it should be based on your audience. So you have to be so contingent. So even though in the same office you may have to see different kind of personalities, so you have to change your communication style at every time. And the third thing is, try to use some simple and more familiar words to all of them. So it is not the platform to show your proficiency to the audience, because sometimes you may use some unfamiliar words, like you may appreciate someone like the performance is top notch, you have a splendid performance. So in that term, all the people, they could not understand somewhat unfamiliar words. So instead of that, you can give them very simple appreciation, like your performance is good, so you're a very nice person, so just see the audience. In that way, you can use very simple and familiar words. So, and the last thing is, just stick on to your intention, on what purpose you are going to carry out the communication, whether are you going to welcome or thank any persons, or are you going to give some feedback to the students or your clients. Are you going to appraise any persons, any other persons in your team, and are you going to make any inquiry into a problem, or are you going to market yourself? Which means, if you are in a company, or if you are in a place to market yourself and your company, so it's the better strategy to market yourself with a very good communication. And if you are a therapist, or if you are a psychologist, sometimes if you're a teacher, you may have a situation to counsel your students who have some problems, personal or psychological problems. So all these intentions we have when we encounter people in our workplace. So based on the intentions, your communication style can be different. So you have to be so flexible with your message, and you have to be so flexible with your audience. And the next thing is style. So what kind of style you are going to adopt while you're communicating with people. So we may encounter different types of situations in our workplace. It may be a group discussion, you may be a recruiter, and at the time your style will be entirely different than as a student. So as we are a student, we'll be so humble. We try to have some simple conversation with people. But in the same time, if you are a recruiter, if you are a manager position at the time, so your communication will be in a very vague way. So I'm not criticizing you, but obviously based on the situation, our communication will be altered by nature. So be conscious on your style while you're communicating with people at your workplace. So the first thing is your speed. At what speed you're going to talk with people. So it should not be too speedy or too slow. So it will make your audience misunderstand your language and misunderstand your message. So be neutral and be slow at all time, and make sure all the persons who talk with you have understood your language and understood your message. So if you are going to announce the very good news, or you are going to announce any rules or something, at the time just make sure all the persons have understood or not. And second thing is body language. So as already we discussed in the last session, so than your words, your body language will communicate a very different message to your audience. So please be focused on your body language. So are you going to be sit while you're announce something, or you are going to walk, you're continuously roam around the place? So that is a important thing. So we all are coming from school days. We would see lot of teachers with different styles. Some teachers, they stand in their course and they will not nod their head even they complete their syllabus. Yes. So and some persons, they are always working around the class. So sometimes that might be so distracting to us. So based on your audience and based on the situation, so you can alter your body language. And the third thing is be relaxed. So your style has to be so calm and composed. So don't be tempered, don't be fast, don't be so focused on your style. So just be relaxed, just to show the audience who you are, just to show your colleagues who you are. And calm and composed, you can quietly compose your message. And the fourth important thing is what kind of accessories you are going to have in your hand while you're talking with your friends or talking with your boss. So at the time, it may influence your communication. So you're entering, just imagine the situation, you are entering into the boss or principal room. At the time, you have your mobile phone in your hand. So you are going to ask a permission, or you are going to give him or her some excuses. At the time, your mobile phone is ringing, or you have lot of books, lot of materials in your hand. So this kind of stuffs will make you nervous or will influence your communication in a very bad way. So please make sure you have no unnecessary equipments in your hand while you're in a very important state to convey something. And if you are in a stage, or if you are a public speaker at the time too, you can focus on what kind of mic or what kind of equipment, technological equipment to convey your message to the audience. So whether it is a hand mic or collar mic, or whether you are having your script in your hand or not. So just make sure what kind of materials you should possess in your hand while you're communicating with other persons. And the next thing is dressing. So you may ask me one question. So is that dressing influence your communication? Yes, obviously. So if you wear a very tight dress, and if it make you uncomfortable, your communication will be so irritated, and you don't want to communicate fully. And so your communication will be in a very bad way to some other persons. So try to have very comfortable and what is it, very simple dress. So while you are in a public speaking or in an interview or in a GED or in a place, you are going to ask some questions. So and the next thing is sitting or standing pose. So what pose you are going to have? So if it is an informal communication, you are in a canteen with your colleagues, you are in a office cabin with your peers and colleagues, so it is okay about your sitting position. But the people, they always misunderstood with your message and your body language. You may say a very right thing at a very a different situation with very bad sitting or standing position. They misunderstood, or they misinterpret your message. So they may think you are very boasting person, you are a very cunning person. That way too they can misinterpret the message. So you can be cautious about your sitting or standing position. So it's purely based on the situation, it's purely based on the message you are going to communicate. So if it is about complaining, if it is about getting excuses or giving excuses, so you can be cautious with your pose. And the last sorry the next thing is walk frequently. So while you're in a classroom, while you're in a stage, while you're in a common place or podium like that, so you can walk frequently. So on and off you can walk. So it may help the audience to distract themselves by keep an eye on with you. And the last thing is keep interaction with your colleagues or peers or your boss or your audience in simple way. So make sure they all are coming with you, they all are understanding your language and message. And if there is no understanding in that place, just you can, without any hesitation, you can start from the beginning, and you can start your communication with a very simple and in a very slow way. So these are the points we have to focus while you are going with communication style. And attitude. So attitude is the way we see others, or the way we see some things. So when we have a very bad attitude with your peer or colleague, so your message will also be in a very rude way, your communication will be in a very efficient way. So try to have very good attitude at your workplace. So while you are communicating with your co-workers, that will be really helpful to have a very good and positive working relationship. And the first thing is try to have positive attitude. So just overlook all the bad effects, or just overlook all the baggages regarding their relationship. So just try to focus on the message you are going to communicate. So because based on the message only, we have a lot of issues at our workplace. And second thing is, don't judge a book by its cover. So based on it, we don't need to judge your audience, judge your persons. So based on their outlook. So the person may look so gaudy. So you may think the person is very good in communication. The person is very knowledgeable. So in that way, you can give them one-line instructions. But sometimes those kind of persons may be very bad in their subject or work-related information. So don't judge a book by its cover. Some person, they may be look so ugly, or sometimes their dressing sense is not very good to look, and they are not look so knowledgeable, but their stuff can be entirely different. So we can't judge a person based on their outlook, and we can give them some time to tell their opinions and feelings. So after that only you can tell your message in their own language or in their own style. And third and fourth point will tell you, so be flexible and be contingent. So contingency will tell you how you can adopt yourself to the situation, because we don't have any panacea. That means we have no one solution to all the problems. In that way, we can't have any one ideal communication style to all the type of audience, because person will be different. The situations you will encounter will also be different. So you can't have one communication style to meet out all the situations. You have to change, you have to continuously change your communication styles based on the situation and based on the personalities. And sometimes you can apply humor, because if you are so rigid and if you are continuously messages in a very formal and very strict way, so people will try to get themselves away from you. So they don't want to have a companionship, they don't want to have any simple relationship with you. So they will think you are a very boring person. So you are like working like work to rule. So in that way they will judge you. So sometimes you can be so friendly, you can use some humors, so to make the team gel with each other, to make the teamwork possible there. And on and off, you can smile frequently. So I would meet a lot of persons in my career. So many persons, they are coming from very simple or gaudy background, so they won't smile. Sometimes I don't want to have a conversation, I don't want to have a communication with them, because that person won't smile. So the communication with them will be in a very simple way, and they just tell the message and drop out the communication immediately. So at end of the time too, they won't smile. So even we try to have a smile with them, so they won't smile. So we have a former relationship, why should smile? So in that way, we should not be like that. So during your conversation, even with your students, even with your subordinates too, you can tell the message in a very smile way, and have eye contact. So the eye contact will give an impression to other persons that you are very confident. So you are a very good person. In that way, people will perceive you. So try to have very good eye contact with the audience or with the persons with whom you are going to communicate. And the last important thing is empathy. So we all have to know about empathy. Putting ourselves into other shoes is a very difficult way. So empathize other persons, so with whom you are going to have the communication. So try to empathize themselves, and based on that you can alter your communication, and you can simplify or you can extend your message with others. Yes, so very general tips, sir. Can I hear, sir? Is there any problem? No? Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you. And we can see some general tips. And we start with the welcome message and the thanking message. Yes, so the welcome and thanking message is quite important, because while you are initiating your message, while you're initiating your conversation with other persons, have a very good welcome note, or having a very good what is it, simple words so you can use. So before you start with conversation, just greet everyone. If it is a morning, say good morning, have a nice day. So I'm so happy to meet you all after the long time, in that words. So in that situation, if you're using some kind of very amicable and friendly words, it will make your opponent person will see you in a very positive way. So without that, if you start, okay, we are here for the conversation, we are here for the okay, yes. So the next thing is the thank you message. We all always focused on the welcome message only, but we used to overlook the thanking message, because people may sit in front of you for more than half an hour. As a student, they may sit in front of you more than 1 hour, and as a client, they can also spend some time with you. So if you really want to have the relationship, or the it may be a business deal for a long time period, so at that time, so the thanking message will lead an opportunity to have a good business deals. And so it is quite important to have a very welcome and good thanking message. And the next thing is we have to focus on ourselves. So in what kind of poses we have, what kind of body language we have while we are conversing with other persons. So we can check on that. So frequently, so we can see our mirror, and we talk in front of the mirror, and we can check. We have a very good body language, eye contact, and something. Excuse me. And next thing is avoid fillers. So our sorry. So in our conversation, you unknowingly, we used to have some unnecessary fillers. Yes, okay, actually, then these are the fillers we can say, but we are unaware of that. So we can find out how many unnecessary fillers we are using while we are conversing with other persons. It's not me. Yes, so we don't need to be a copycat. So many times we have lot of videos in your YouTube, and we try to have very good communication skills from other persons, but actually it won't work. So we individually we have different styles, and so even though we can see a lot of videos regarding yes, can you all? Yes, yes. So even though we can have some other videos regarding best communication skills, we can see lot of persons with good communication skills. So we can't copy exactly from them, because we have our own styles, and we can modify our styles regarding our personality and regarding our requirements. Yes, and the next thing is, I think you're unable to see my screen, right? Yes, okay. So let me continue the session. And the next important point I really want to tell you is rehearsal. We all always overestimate ourselves, because I have so much years of experience in teaching, or so much of years in corporate experience. So I don't need any kind of rehearsal. But actually, even giant persons are very great persons also have practice before they talk in front of audience, before they talk in front of people. So without having any hesitation, so we can rehearse for better communication. So the better rehearsal, the how many times you rehearse yourself for the communication, it will make you a very good communicator actually. And the next point is about diversity of people. So we could see a lot of persons in your workplace. All the persons are not same, even though you may find, actually I'm working in a women's institution, so I'm working with a lot of women and a lot of girls, but all girls are not same. Even though I could find, if I see 10 girls and I could see 10 different personalities. So one common message is not sufficient to have a common response from all of them. So I have to modify every time. So I have to again and again I tell them. So I have to recheck my communication. So we can't predict them. So we can't say they all are boys, they all are from company, they all are from teaching field. So they can easily understand. In that way, we can't have our communication styles. So the personality will be different. So we all are entirely different based our gender, age, exposure, experience. So the background we have, the past events, and the personality, attitude towards with other persons. So we have to accept the diversity. So at the workplace, that is called workforce diversity. So that is an inevitable problem everywhere. So by accepting the workforce diversity and having our communication in that way, so will make our in a better way. And the next thing is have scripts. So many of them, they don't want to write nowadays, especially after the penetration of mobile phones and internet and technology. Many people, they forget how to write. How why should we write those kind of questions the students or some other persons will ask, because while you're writing, all those points will automatically loaded in your mind. So the scripts in your hand will help you to have a better communication. But workplace communication will not will don't need any scripts, but instead of that, you can practice yourself. So how I'm going to tell my opinion, how I'm going to share my feedback, how I'm going to communicate my negative expressions to others. So in that way, you can rehearse 1 or 2 times, so that will help you to have any conflicts with other persons. And the next thing is schedule. So the schedule, which means if you are going to have a fun for 10 minutes with your friends, you are going to chat with your colleagues for 10 minutes, so please don't extend your time. So if you are going to ask some permission from your boss, so if you have only 2 minutes of time, be prepared with your message only with 10 minutes. So please don't extend your message. Even though in your classroom too, we can experience a situation, a teacher may come into your class and take class for more than 1 hour. At the time, we'll be getting irritated. So in the same situation, our audience or the person who are communicating with you will be experienced. So don't give the very bad and poor experience to your opponent. And so we can stick on to your timing. And next point is, so we can be so strong and positive and confident while you're persons. Some persons can be very shy and they don't have the confidence to talk with persons who are very elder or who are from some other language, who are from some other culture. So you can overlook all those negatives about you. So you can freely, confidently, and strongly communicate with the opponent. So the outcome. So don't be focused on the results. Don't be focused on the other person's thoughts. Just go with the flow. Then automatically your communication will be molded in a very efficient and very convenient way. So you can be so strong and you can be confident. So that will also give you a lot of good relationship with you. So over the period of time, people, they will understand and they will start accepting with your own communication styles. Yes. And so these are the pictures I really wanted to show. Yes. Yes, so we all have to keep one point in your mind. Your communication will bring you everything in your life. So it may be interpersonal relationship with your boss, interpersonal relationship with your colleagues or peers. Everything will be positive with your communication only. So though you commit some mistakes, so there will be no problem. Just openly and frankly, you can tell them in a very positive and confident way. They will accept your mistakes. They will accept the excuses, and obviously you will be in the part of the team. So be friendly. Hello. Yes, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Okay. So did you hear all those points I have told you? Yes. Okay. And think about results and be result oriented sometimes. So we all on the time we tell something to the persons and we have not look on to the outcomes, but in the workplace communication, so your every word, your communication style will give you something, so it will yield something in your workplace. So if it is a general presentation to in front of your boss, it's a general conversation with your teammates, so be focused on the communication style and language and message also, so it will yield a very positive and good results at your workplace, and it will give you more money, it will give you more appreciation, it will give you a lot of very positive relationship. And so with this, let me conclude the session. And these are the points I really wanted to tell you. And I wish you all to have very positive and good communication in your professional and personal life. And once again, thank Dr. Suresh sir and his teammates for his for giving me the wonderful opportunity. So thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you, audience, for bearing all the technical issues so have given you. So really sorry for the inconvenience. So thank you once again, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, thank you so much, Jyotirmam, for that wonderful presentation. Your presentation itself showed like you need those attitude and positive spirit to convey the message, which you have really literally done today. Thank you so much. I'm Dr. Veena, one of the core team members, and I'll be facilitating the question and answer session. So participants, if you have any queries, you could put in the chat box or you could unmute yourself and ask the question. Can you stop the screen sharing ma'am, and can you like come on the video?
Yes, ma'am. Sure, ma'am. Sure.
Yes. Yeah, we have been like getting the positive feedback from the audience. So we'll just wait for the questions. Okay, ma'am. Before someone puts a question, I have a question for you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Can you like tell or elaborate on a few tips on how you could change your body language so that it will help in your communication?
Yes, ma'am. Body language is a very important factor, ma'am, because many of us we didn't many of us didn't take care of their body language. So in that way, we can ask frequently feedback from your friends. So if you feel comfortable with any persons in your workplace, you can ask feedback from them. Or very simple strategy is, in front of the mirror, you can tell your message. You can converse with you in front of your message. At the time, you can see how many times you shake your hands, how many times you just nod your head. So what kind of body language we have, that is the very important point. So we can, these are the two strategies, ma'am. I used to have these two strategies. Once I have got my class, I used to get feedback from my students, or sometimes I ask the feedback from my friends who are working with me. And sometimes without any hesitation, I just ask the audience or the supervisor, the superior of me. So they will sometimes give my very negative feedback. That is, I'm continuously shaking my head. I'm continuously asking, is that right? Did you understand that way? Too, I'm just having very poor communication. So the body language can be resolved in that ways, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. And ma'am, can you tell a few strategies where people who are introvert can do better communication? Because mostly people who are introvert, they really want to be in their comfort zone, and their communication will be very minimal with others. So are there any strategies where these people can like work on their communication?
Yes, ma'am. They can try to open up themselves, ma'am. First, their intentions have to be changed. So if they really want to have very good communication, and if they really want to have some friendship at workplace, so they can start with very simple conversations. At least they try to have basic conversations with their own gender. So if it is a boy, they can start a basic conversation with other boy in the office. So if they feel they are introvert, first of all they have to accept, they have to admit they are introvert. Sometimes the people, they very strongly admit that I'm a very good person, I'm a very ordinary person, I'm not an introvert. In that way, they are neglecting their character. So first, as a friend, so we can make them aware, you are introverts, you have to open up at workplace. So in that way too, we can make introvert to be an extrovert at workplace now.
Okay. My next question would be like, mostly in today's scenario, we always just don't understand what the other persons communicate. It's only listening part. We just listen to what the communication is, but we don't really put into the understanding part. So, any tips on that?
Pardon, ma'am, can you please repeat the question again?
Sometimes when the other person is communicating, we
Yes,
just
ma'am.
listen to it, but we don't understand.
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
So it's like not even listening, it's hearing sort of. Even when you're
Yes, ma'am.
listening,
Yes.
you just focus on that. So,
Okay, ma'am.
so how to like work on that? Because of that, we'll be having a lot of misunderstandings. So how to work on that?
Okay, so we can drop our baggage, ma'am. So if you are talking with your boss, and if you already have any negative baggage with them, so you can't easily understand what they are trying to say. So our perception and attitude towards the particular person can be changed. So with that too, we can overcome the problem, ma'am. So if you have problem with some other person, even though the person telling you very good matter matters with you. So, based on your negative perception and a negative attitude with the person, you can't be listened. You can just hear what they are telling, but in real, you can't listening what they are talking. So, our baggages have to be removed. Our negative perceptions and the negative assumptions and attitude have to be removed. That is the only solution that we can always have a very good listening, ma'am. So, good communication actually start with good listening. It was a really nice question, ma'am, because many of us we would think I'm a very good person. I'm a very good communicator, but at my workplace it is not working out. In that way, many persons asking me. But it's the first thing is we have to be a good listener first of all. Then only we can be a good communicator. So the good listening will leads to avoid all the kind of perceptual and emotional problems. Then only obviously we can have a very positive and amicable communication and relationship, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
And the
Thank
next
you.
question is,
Yes, ma'am.
during a seminar, especially while communicating with teenagers, we can see
Yes,
their attention will be waning. How to bring back their interest in session? Any tips?
That's a very hot topic, ma'am. Actually, I'm also dealing with teenagers. So over the 10 years of my experience, the evolution of teenagers and the generation, the recent generation is they have become so difficult to handle. So first of all, we can have some simple conversation with them. So if it is we are living in the meme culture, so people are always want to have fun. They always have some comedies in a very formal communication too. So as a boss too, you can have a very simple, nice and a humorous conversation. So with that, we can bring their attention back, and we can avoid their distraction from the communication or the meeting. So having a simple and very fun-filled conversation is the only solution to handle with teenager problem, ma'am. Actually, I used to do that in my college. So if I'm telling you any instruction, or if I'm going to give them any orders, it will not work out. They will ask me a lot of questions again, and they will not put any effort for my conversation. Instead of that, if I'm giving you any informal and humorous messages, and they will be quite interested. They try to have good relationship with me, and then only, even though if I score in a very humorous way, they will understand, they will accept that too. But the very formal and rigid conversation is not work out in the among the teenagers now.
Thank you so much, ma'am,
Yes,
for like while you are in home, you have to do as romance too. So while dealing with adolescents, you really need to know how they behave and really behave in that manner. Thank you so much. And that's with the questions, ma'am. Now I take this opportunity to call upon Dr. Subhashri ma'am to please place vote of thanks.
Ma'am, can I ask one question?
Yeah, please go ahead.
yes, ma'am.
And thank you so much. Very nice and a very interesting session. I have one doubt. To avoid the fillers, it is very hard to avoid the fillers in speaking in another language other than our mother tongue is very hard for some people. So to avoid fillers, can we use some pause, simply some pause? Is it fine?
Yes, ma'am. That is also fine, ma'am. Instead of using some fillers, you can have some gaps. You can use some time space, ma'am. So in some communication classes, have a session like counting the fillers. So two, if you are going to talk with in front of people, and there will be 4 or 5 people in front of you, and one people will be appointed to count the fillers. How many counters you are going to tell, or one people will count how many time you will take to tell a simple message. So in that kind of practical sessions too, we can have. By that we can count on our mistakes. We can count on what kind of fillers we are using. So by awareing of that fillers, we can avoid in future now.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for answering all the questions. And I think we should. Shubha, ma'am. Okay, now I call upon our Dr. Suresh Kumar sir to please. Yes, ma'am is there.
Thank you, Dr. Veena.
Yes, sir.
I think Dr. Subhasri ma'am is on the way. A very good evening to all, and I'm really happy to propose vote of thanks for today's session to Dr. Jyoti ma'am. Again, I think it is worthwhile to have two sessions. One is about the basics of communication and the components of communication, and finally you have to end up with the strategies for communication. I can say that this is a very useful component for any sectors, for counseling and in our daily life, or in a management setting, or whatever it may be. The important thing for us, when we are good at communication, I can say if I had a skill in my early stages, and I will be there in a different level. I'm having some perception about me in a particular level. If I had a better communication, I will be there in somewhere else. So these things we need to understand, and that's why WHO insisted that communication is one of the basic life skills. When you take that the different skills, technical skills and employability skills, career skills, and name it, all the skills, communication will be one of the important skills will be there. So see the importance of communication skill, and for that we had wonderful inputs and the strategies we can use for developing our communication from Jyothi Lakshmi ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. On behalf of the Department of Psychology, American College, and our associating institutions like Madras School of Social Work, Chennai, M.H. Chalamuthi Institute, Madurai, and Red Pond Education and Psychology Research Center, Madurai, and Yellow Pond Counseling and Wellness Center International, and Psychoanalytical Association, Turkey. Thank you so much, ma'am. And I thank all the participants for continuous support. We will meet with another session on tomorrow at 6:30. Thank you all. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, everyone.